Hi, dear ones. We are in conversation, and we wanted to do a spiritual video in relationship to suffering. And everyone's suffering out there in one level or another, emotionally, mentally, but physically. We have a world of extreme suffering, and you're a great case. You know, with that ulcerative colitis and the near death many times, and just the level of pain, pharmaceuticals, the smells of hospitals, all those things that go into that massive decay of life and suffering that people go through. And you went there and brought yourself back. And that's the beauty of what we teach here, and trying to show you a far greater way to run your world, your life, a happier way, a way that you can connect with your true self again, that which is haunting within each and every one of you, the universal question of who am I? Who am I really? I know I'm not this physical body, but I know I'm using it and it's suffering. You know, like in your case, you had so many times you wanted to leave your body.
Yes.
Your body was hurting you. It sometimes it kept you in it, right?
Yes.
And then sometimes you just wanted to get away from it, right?
Yes. I said I wanted to go on vacation from my body.
And you kind of did, right?
And I kind of
did.
did.
Some out-of-body travels.
I did.
You had a lot of experiences that way.
Yes.
That was pretty good.
Yes.
You know.
It was.
Although the pain you had to go through to do that wasn't so good.
No, it wasn't. It was like the pain at times pushed me out of my body, right? Because I couldn't manage the sensation of the depth of pain for a prolonged period of time without any relief.
Oh, man,
you know, without any
Yeah.
spots
Yeah.
and times that I actually feel better. Sometimes when you're in such a deep continuance of pain and there's no relief, no pain pills working, you feel like you reach a breaking point, and that's the time when you want to leave your body.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I just need a vacation. I just need to get out for a while so I can come back and deal with it again. You know?
Yep. Well, but I think that on the positive side of these horrible experiences is just what it led you. You were already spiritual. You already were an awakened being. I've talked with you quite a bit, and you were just this. Even your dad said to you, you're just an angelic being. But you know, you had to go through this, and I think that it'll end that earthly karma thing, but it'll also pull you up into a better communication with all of life from that. You'll be able to, and you look at suffering much differently now, and the spiritual side of that, and helping others to move through that, but from a spiritual view.
Yes.
You know, because after all, why do we suffer? And suffering is a way of shaking your world up until you let go.
Letting go.
Letting go.
Letting go. I mean, the question about suffering, and we can all ask this on the healing path, on the path to Wellville, why are some people getting well faster than others?
Good question. That's excellent, because we see that. We see that every day here. We're looking at their stats. We're looking at their eyes. We're looking at all this. They supposedly are 100% raw and all this, but yet their movement is much slower.
Right.
So why?
Why?
And I will give you a quick little story. One day I had a chiropractor's mother in to see me, riddled with pain, bad knees, all kinds of problems. So she sat in front of me, and I'm talking to her about what I do and everything. Well, her nose was a little too high to see me. So I put her on the program of herbs and raw foods, and a month went by, maybe a month and a half, and I got her back in to see how she was doing.
Right.
And she said, she walked right in and sat down and said, "Your program doesn't work for me." I said, I said, well, it doesn't work for everybody, but I always keep notes. And I wrote everything down that she had suffered with and what was going on. And I knew that she had a little bit of an ego problem. Her nose was definitely bent upwards. And so we were talking, and I was going on. And I said, I know, your son's really good. Oh, by the way, how's those knees of yours? Yeah, I don't feel them anymore. And then I took her off point and went to somewhere else. And then I asked her, I said, didn't that arm hurt that one time? Remember that? And she said, yeah, that's gone. And I took her off point and went somewhere else. And about 15 minutes later, she looked at me and she said, you son of a bitch. And I laughed and I said, you can get in your own way. Almost every symptom that she came to me with was gone. And she was too in her own world to recognize that. And so be careful with that. Be careful with that. Don't be in your own way. Get your mind and your emotions outside of yourself. They're not you. They're the tools you've been using to experience your journey, and don't let them drag you down.
That's a great story. It's a great story. And what I love about that too is that she actually came to the realization on her own.
She did.
Within that time frame of her saying,
did.
that's not bothering me. But anyway, and finally she's like, I guess it's working. But, you went through you weaved her through. You didn't say, yeah, it's obviously working. Right. You let her come to that.
Yeah, and that's important. And also the fact that your own ego, your own mind, your own emotions can get in your way of healing. And I think that's a point we were talking about earlier, too, how we can get in our own way. And we get too physical about our experience.
Yeah.
And by pulling back, like you were able to do, pull back. If not, it pulls you back.
Oh, yeah. Well,
you left your body.
Oh.
You said, I'm out
in and out. Between both worlds, on and off,
Mm-hmm.
And part of that is also the desire to want to stay here. If you're kind of, let's just say not committed, right, to being here, and you're taking down the depths of that barely survival level, it's easy to go between both worlds because it's like, well, I kind of want to be here, but it's a lot of work. I kind of want to be here, but I'm suffering so much and I'm worn out. I'm tired. I don't even know if I have the fight in me.
Well, that's it right there.
Yeah.
It wears you out.
It wears you out.
That's part of releasing and letting go, but it can let some people go to where and maybe their karma isn't where they should be, so they're back in another body again and stuff. But each time you need to grow and pull yourself away from your emotions and your mind. We talk a lot about getting out of your mind. Quit being a thought chaser, because you lose a vital part of life and happiness and joy and love, because everything then has an action that you're creating and a desire behind it, and none of it is out of the sake of freedom or out of the sake of joy or from a lofty position. There's always a modus operandi. There's always a reason behind something, and there's a time you want to spend without that. There's a time you just want to be and let it work through you intuitively.
Absolutely. There's a few things that just came to mind when you were talking. One of the advantages of being very ill and weak and down. Now, already it's like, that sounds odd, doesn't it?
Uh-huh.
No, there are a lot of advantages, or not advantage. Let's strike that word and replace it with opportunity. Mm-hmm. And this is a time to, instead of, how we're on the internet going Google, go on the inner, INNER, internet inside, and do your inner Googling and learn who you are, why you're in this situation, what you can learn from it, how you can grow, and now how you can get out of your current belief system and understand, A, are those beliefs yours, or are they someone else's that you learned and adopted as your own? Are those beliefs working for you?
Good point. If you're using your mind, then it's just what you said. They're all conditioned. Mm-hmm. Everything you think, feel, is totally a conditioned state. Not until you let go why you went through that hell.
Yeah.
You let go of your mind
Yeah.
and your opinions and your ideas of yourself and the world and everything else, and you've had it. You're just going to let go. That's when you actually touch the, I guess you could say, the heartstrings of God. It's just when you touch consciousness, and that's where you are. That's who you are. And you all each are listening to this are these magnificent beings. And we're only using these physical bodies to experience at this physical level. You can't experience at this physical level being all that you are because you're too powerful, too big. So each and every one of you have had to take on a physical embodiment, whether you're a plant, an animal, a human, it doesn't matter what embodiment you take, everything is conscious. And so when you get with that and you realize that your plants are aware, your animals are aware, your gems are aware, everything has awareness to it, find out who that awareness is.
Well, that's the opportunity I was talking about. When you are forced to be bedridden, when you're forced to just be, this is your golden opportunity.
It is.
It's your golden opportunity to be with you. If you want to, get rid of, eliminate people from your life who are disturbing you, that's what I did.
Well,
because I had to. I am like, this is my opportunity. I don't want distractions. I don't want interruptions. I accept being alone so I can be with me and understand what I'm doing, why I'm here, what this is all about, because everything I've done and created got me to this point. So I'm at a point where I have to change or I leave.
Yeah.
So this is the time to really get to know yourself instead of, some people have really razzed me for not knowing and being on technology. Well, instead of taking selfies of how sick I was and, talking on the phone with everyone about it, I didn't talk to anyone. I went in a cave, though technically I wasn't in a cave, I was in a bedroom. But it was like that for me. I chose that. It's like I put do not disturb signs on my, it's like I'm not talking. I'm not accepting calls. I'm not accepting visitors. And I had to do all that so I could be with me.
Yep.
So I could get to know the person who's experiencing that and what the hell am I going to do? Right?
I think it's an excellent.
Because you can't get in touch if someone's always talking to you.
Right.
You got all these distractions.
Right.
You're filling your mind with visions, or you're doing anything but going within.
And you know what else happens when you do that?
What?
You start accepting your fate. You start accepting your condition. You start accepting your pain. You start accepting, and matter of fact, some people wear their problems as if it's a badge. And it's like, I've got MS. And that sounds bizarre. But I see it here.
I've seen it. You're exposed to it all
and
the
it's
time.
like, excuse me, take that badge off and throw it away because, that's where your journey is. You want your journey in a wheelchair? That's where your journey's going to be. Wherever you want your journey to be, you're the powerhouse. You're the one that directs everything. You just have to realize that. But where do you want your journey to be?
That's the question. And that's the question you can only get to when you're sitting with yourself in quiet.
That's exactly right.
And you mentioned about accepting it. I want to talk about that. That's so powerful because you cannot change anything until you accept it and understand it. Let's talk about denial for a little bit. I remember when I was young, and I was diagnosed. I mean, first of all, I didn't even know what was going on, to be honest with you. I was so naive. I didn't have, I was on my own, and I didn't have really an understanding of anything that was happening or that was going to happen in the potential of what was going to happen. But once it started happening and I started getting sick, I was in such denial. I mean, denial is good when something shocking happens to you and you can't cope with it. You need to get your grounding and your bearings before you can cope. But living in denial for a long period of time, like years, keeps you stuck. You can't grow out of denial because you can't change what you can't accept. And if you're in denial, you're not accepting what's going on. See that?
Yep,
That
absolutely.
Yeah. And so that's what I was in for a while. That is what I was in. I was such a body person, you know.
You were a dancer,
yeah, I was a
right?
dancer, and I was a gymnast. And
Gymnastics, a dancer?
Yeah, I was a ball player.
So you can imagine
I was
what that
very
did to you.
athletic. It did a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And then you know how we all say this, right? Well, I was just fine yesterday. I woke up and it was like the rug got pulled out from under my feet. Well, we all know now you weren't fine yesterday, but it seems like it happens just like that. Like, hey, I was just fine. Where did this come from? Where did it come and attach itself to me, right? We get this. That's how I felt. And I'm like, as I started seeing what's happening with the body, it's like, no, I'm strong. I'm a dancer. You know, I'm this. All these identities that I was... We're being threatened. We're being threatened now of my whole persona and what I love to do. Not just like it's an ego thing. It's like this is my love. I love doing these things. No, I'm not going to live without those. Well,
Took you right out of them.
took me right out of them.
Yeah, amazing, isn't it?
It's amazing, and it's
But your spiritual side exploded.
well, it did, but after time. Now I tell you. There's denial, which, like I said, no, it doesn't benefit anyone there to stay there for a long time.
Right. Yep.
Because if you don't ever come to acceptance, like, okay, it's like food too, being in denial, like, oh, I can keep eating this cheese pizza and it won't hurt me, even though I'm going to the hospital tomorrow. You know, that's denial.
Yeah, that's denial.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to keep...
I don't feel the pain that's hurting
Yeah, I
real
don't feel
bad
the
from
pain.
that pizza right now.
As
Yeah.
I'm taking 2 pain pills so I can finish the rest of the
Exactly.
pizza.
Oh.
Right?
And
I've
there's
done
people
that.
that
Okay, I admit this.
Oh
I
my
admit this.
God.
Okay, I don't want to admit
my
it, but I'm
God.
going to be truthful. We're good.
You had a pain pill so you could finish a pizza?
Yeah. No, so I could begin the pizza. Years
Oh,
ago.
that's
Yeah. Okay,
bad.
listen. It's bad.
Oh, that is
Years ago, it was on my birthday, right? Well, it's going to sound sad and somewhat
Oh,
pathetic,
my.
but here I was alone, and I was in bad shape.
Yeah.
Okay, I was
Yeah.
in really bad shape. Now, at this time, this is before I knew you. This is before I knew of the program or anything. So, part of it's denial, but part of it was I just didn't know either what to do at that
Sure,
time.
sure.
I knew the pizza was going to hurt me, but I didn't know why. See, I didn't know why.
Right.
I didn't know.
But you knew it was.
I knew
but
it
you
was.
didn't know why.
I didn't
got
know
you.
why
Yep.
because I didn't have that information yet from you.
Mhm.
So it's my birthday, and you know, my friend said she'd come over later, but this was all day now, working all day, and I'm by myself suffering. And I couldn't drive. That's how bad I was.
Oh,
I couldn't
wow.
drive. So it's like, well, there's such thing as a pizza delivery. I did. I ordered a medium pizza.
Oh my God.
I took a pain pill, a serious one,
Oh yeah.
an hour before I knew they were coming. And I'll admit this too. I'm like, hey, what if this is my last supper? What if this is it? You know, I don't know. I'm like, well, then I might as well get a beer. Go with the pizza, right?
God. This is my last
Yeah,
supper. I
this
guess
is
a beer and a pizza
A beer and
will
a
do.
pizza. I mean, if that's how it's going to go down, I'm going down with some
my
sense
God.
of joy, all right? So I took the pain. I felt, you know, that real funny feeling come over from the pain pill. And the pizza came, and I sat there, and I'm like, I seriously did it. And then I ate 1/2 more pain pill to get through the rest. And I ate that whole medium pizza in one sitting. I mean, this is funny, but maybe you can relate.
Wow.
Like we've all,
Oh.
I've done some kooky things.
Yeah.
I admit it. I'm part human anyway.
Two pieces of pizza would kill me.
Well,
It probably would kill me. 2 pieces of pizza would kill me. It has some of the best smells there is.
yeah.
If you
Oh,
smell
God.
a pizza, it's just like, it's almost neurotic, but then it's got all the nose. The white flour. The white flour, stick on my bowel wall
Yeah.
like glue.
Yeah.
Acidic, of
Well,
course.
the gluten.
Well, that's it. The
Hurting
whole point.
the-
The gluten and
the
the gluten
mucosa.
proteins eating you up. And of course, then you got the cheese. And of course, and then you got the tomato. Oh, God, the
good
acid tomato sauce. Oh, that may even hurt you more. And then if you put any dead animals on it, then you got more of that. It's like, here, beat me up.
Yeah.
Rip my
You know
colon
what?
right out of
Exactly.
me.
And I guess, you know, that's what I was doing.
Oh, my God.
You could order argue that, or you could say, well, geez, I mean, what were you trying to prove? Well, obviously,
No,
I
you
wasn't
don't-
trying to kill myself. Obviously, there's a.
Well, you
but
were hungry and in
I
an
was hungry and
unaware
I wanted-
position.
I was unaware, but I told you I wasn't that unaware. I knew, otherwise I wouldn't have
You
taken
knew
the
it was
pain.
gonna hurt you,
I
but
knew
you
it was
didn't
going to
know
hurt
why.
you, but I was also, here we are with this denial and also this emotional imbalance, needing comfort,
Yeah,
and
that's the
having
other
to
side.
and I was imbalanced, right, as ignorant.
That's the other side, though, the emotional component. Like you
Yeah.
said, when you're by yourself and you're hurting real bad,
Yeah,
that's why
you can hurt yourself even
You
more.
can hurt yourself even more.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying when you let go of the mind and you just let go, you start absorbing into consciousness. As I've told you, the Sufis call it God absorption. But you start absorbing into the one where we all are. So what appears to be the alone is totally the all. So it's an illusionary concept. But you are there alone, but you're never alone. You know what?
Oh, you're never
the
alone.
dichotomy or the zen of I'm always alone, but I'm never alone.
Well, I don't ever feel I'm alone. And let me just say, I wasn't truly alone, for one. I know you have pictures of she and I together in my file somewhere, of my cat, Chelsea, who, oh my gosh, just saying her name, I started getting
wow.
that feeling.
Is she alive?
No.
Oh.
She passed in January of 2012.
Oh, wow.
But she was 24.
Wow.
Yeah, well, I
Took care of her.
I took care of her. I made her raw food, but she had another home before me, so she
wow.
didn't have like the best diet and all that. And I stayed for the last year and a half of her life. I gave her subcutaneous fluids every day.
Oh, wow.
And I wouldn't leave. And she was like, for some people out there, they're gonna think this is off, but she was like my best. She was my best
Sure.
friend. She was my sister, my mother, my grandmother. She was so. She was so many things to me. And honestly, it was. She was by me with the pizza thing, watching me going, no, didn't I teach you better? No, but she was chaperoning and always watching me.
Sure.
She's real little, and when I'd work on the computer, I'd hold her, and we were together night and day and night, night and day. And it was her who she's the reason that I stayed to fight. Whenever I thought I was going, I'd look and it's like, she'd look at me and kind of say, well, aren't we in this together? It's like, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here.
That it's amazing when you look at how God made everything, and then you look at how man domesticated animals, and really it shows you the heart that man really is. Man hides from himself. Man meaning man and women.
Yeah, I know.
But we hide because we're such a beautiful species that have not got their head out of their butts. So we kill each other and we hurt each other and cut each other's throats and stuff like that. That's just bizarre stuff. And it's just sad stuff when you see that here on this planet and the suffering. But if you're suffering out there, make that suffering count. You learn how to let go.
Make it count.
Yeah, don't hold on to anything. Let go, but don't let go of yourself. You stay strong with the self, with the I am. And we're giving you the tools to get out of pain. So you can get yourself out of pain. I don't care what level you're in. You can get yourself out of pain. Because always leaving is not the answer. Because if you haven't worked out your karma from a spiritual viewpoint, you guys will be coming back. So you've got to work this out. So you want to stay as long as you can to work everything out. So when you leave this particular realm, the physical realm, you're going to places that are way, 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 way beyond here, where the beauty and joy and consciousness is undescribable. That's why you hear words of nirvana, ecstasy. Joy doesn't describe it.
Right.
Words that are beyond our ability to say, because it's just, there's no words.
It's beyond this world.
Beyond.
Well,
and incredible.
The other thing is, some of us who have crossed over have been sent back to complete our mission, which is what I was told. And here's the thing, if you're going to choose to be here on planet Earth, which, let's be honest, it's a choice. Everyone has that choice every day. And you think you don't, but it's a choice. It's a conscious choice.
Well, you can knock yourself off.
You can knock yourself off, and you don't have to do it by any violent methods. You can take yourself out, right? And just cease yourself. You can. But if you're going to be here, and this is what I learned from going over and having to come back, it's like, I'm back. I guess I gotta, so say, if I'm going to be here, and if I have to fulfill what I'm here to do, I better get ready for it and get the body able, so each day I can function and move closer toward being able to serve my mission and do what I'm here to do.
Sure.
You can't do that from a bed.
Yeah.
You can't do much of anything.
But for those of you suffering, if you get with that and realize that not only can you end your suffering, and why? Because all of you that are suffering, you realize a couple of things, and even though you might not understand this right now, you will. Number one, you created this. Believe this or not.
Yeah.
In many, many different ways. When you came here to this planet, your parents, this was all picked out for you to fit where you are in your awareness and where your journey needs to be. This is all set up, and you already knew it. You can go back, and if you go back deep within yourself, you'll remember before you got here when you're coming here. So you'll remember all that in time. And so you have to realize that this is all set up, and you set it up yourselves. And when you start realizing this and start realizing who you guys really are, the joy and happiness on this planet will soar. And it's just a beautiful thing. So you really want to spend time with yourself and give yourself a hug and appreciate your consciousness. You don't have to like your body. You don't have to like different things, but you have to love. I was saying to you, you have to love everything. You don't have to like everything. God doesn't like everything. It created everything. Sometimes He doesn't like something, He gets rid of it and replaces it. Take a look around. So you have to realize that everything you create, you don't always like. We have to get a different view. We have this pseudo view of religions of God. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot different than people think sometimes, who God really is and who you really are.
And when I look at you, I see God.
Thanks.
I'm not calling you a God,
right,
but the reflection I see, and that's what I see.
In everything and everyone.
And everyone and every being.
When you can do that, you're living totally in the now, to be able to see love and see God in everything. I mean, when you look in the eyes of your dogs or your cats, don't you see someone?
Oh my gosh!
You see God.
I was just going to say that, and some people ask me. This is a little bit different, but we'll get back to this other one. Well, why don't you eat animals? Well, that's like eating myself on some level. I mean, when I look at this beautiful feline in my house, doesn't she have 2 eyes, a nose, and a mouth, a ears, arms, a digestive system, genitals, all that, just like me?
A little cutie little thing.
Just like me. Aren't we more alike than different? And I see the spirit and the soul behind those eyes.
And only the Homo sapiens species can come to that realization on planet Earth at this time, because all the other species are in consciousness working toward this level of self-consciousness. So if you ever have the chance to go back in meditation to plant life, you'll see what I'm talking about. So it's a different level. The Homo sapiens at a different level, and even the primates. But if you watch consciousness, you'll see how it's developing itself into self-consciousness. But we have to accept that divinity, that beauty, and that love, and the ability the humans have to become more self-aware. And it's just amazing, but we have not learned that. We are still trapped in the academic mind and in the mind levels, and we have to grow up from that. That will keep you tied to your journeys, and some of you, it's time to go home, time to free yourself,
right, and that's
to a better place.
And that's okay. It's the cycle of life. It's the natural cycle of life. Some people talk about mind, Rider. Some people have said to me, knowing what I've been through from serious Hellville to now. Someone said, well, where's the scientific proof? Hello? Well, I'm a walking testimonial. I don't, what kind of I don't even know how to respond to that.
I don't either anymore.
You know?
I'll tell you what, I don't either anymore because we've given nothing but science out. You know, someone mentioned on a request here about pseudoscience, and
did they?
he was right on. A lot of people think that what we do is pseudoscience because they don't realize what science really is.
Well, what is it?
Well,
according
that's
to
a
you?
problem. You know, people don't realize basic science. We have basic chemistry and we have basic physics, but at a certain point in chemistry and even in physics, we enter the theory world. So you have a good example. The AMA is totally a modality based upon theories, and they're horrible theories. They don't work. They don't exist, and you see the killing field that it is. So you have to understand that when your theories don't work, change them. Nobody cares. This world isn't, you know, we live in such a world like there's some big daddy going to sue us or look over us or something like that. We're afraid to admit that when something's wrong, we did something wrong, we got to change it.
Right.
Like airbags, change it. It's wrong. You know, change different things that we come into trying that doesn't work, but we don't work that way.
Just like change your beliefs if they're not working for you. If you've believed that following your doctor's recommendations and taking all these medications that are toxic and have serious side effects that you know you're experiencing, and the financial cost of it every month, and losing work, and you know, paying the insurance to pay for the supplement, you know, on and on and on. If you now believe that's not working for you, then say, okay, I'm changing my belief. I accept that I've tried this for some years and I'm still in the same place, if not worse than I was when I first started. So I'm not going to keep going then because I don't believe this is helping me. But it's generally out of fear, you know, that we don't want to accept that it's uncomfortable to change, or that we don't really know what to do next. But if you're watching this, you know what to do. You have the information.
Oh, yeah.
You have access to the information if you're watching
Absolutely.
this for sure. And you have the tools. And all you have to decide is, yeah, I believe that's going to help me. And so if I believe it, you know, our bodies follow our belief systems. When we believe something, we energize that thing. When we don't believe, we de-energize it. So what are you energizing? And is that consistent with what you feel in your gut? Not your mind, not what you were conditioned to think is right, but what really feels right. What's
true to the reality of it.
Yeah.
You know, the belief system scenario is difficult because if you believe anything, you're locked. You're locked to creation. Because a belief is an idea, is an opinion, is energy. And if that is part of the mechanism to keep you in creation, is your belief system.
Yeah, that's true.
And you don't have to believe anything if you're part of the all. You come from the all of the all. You don't have to believe or seek anything because you already are whole. We have a big thing here in academics. We seek knowledge. We seek all this sort of thing. And if you seek anything, seek wisdom. Because everything is already created. You can't read in a book anything other than someone else's opinion and ideas. Sometimes you have to lay the books down. You have to lay everything down and start the journey on your own awareness. Become the observer. You become the information receiver. You start observing and watching instead of using your mind to gather information, using your awareness to get information. And it's a much different information because now you'll see the whole together and how everything works together as opposed to fractional thinking that academics gives you.
Excuse me.
Okay.
Thank you. I want to talk about allowing. There's believing, there's allowing. Allowing yourself to change your mind at any given moment. Maybe you believed in this moment this was true, but next moment you didn't. You're not stuck in your beliefs. You're allowing the observation. You're allowing being the witness of things around you and going with the flow of observation, not being subscribed and rigid into this way or that way, which locks you in. You know, this sounds like a non sequitur, but we were talking about my hair a lot earlier, he and I were. at some point. So I wanted to bring this up. There is a relationship here. When, many of you know, I lost over half the hair on my head, and on and off over years I would lose some hair with the steroids and different medications. But a few years ago, I lost over half the hair, where I had longer hair, and I got it cut short because my designer's like, this doesn't look healthy. You don't look right. And I didn't want to look as bad as I felt. It's like, well, I got some ego left. A little bit I'm going to hang on to.
Oh, God.
So after I got it cut, I tell you, at first I was shocked.
Yeah.
Now, first off, because I didn't feel like it was my decision. Like, I didn't just go in and say, hey, I want a new look. I felt forced, backed into a corner about it. Like, well, you either do this or you're going to, look like there's something very, very wrong with you, which there was something wrong with me, okay? So there was. But, a lot of us don't necessarily want to look like that either. We'd rather kind of hide and hope that we look better than we feel, right? That's normal. So there was the shock of, man, I just kind of was forced into it, even though she did give me a good look, for what she did. It looked... So after I got over the initial shock and kind of sadness, as grieving, not just the loss of hair, because that's somewhat superficial.
That's still a big deal.
Yeah, it's a huge deal.
Heck yeah.
But it's also it was a loss of what I perceived my identity. How I define myself. Like, I'm this person, I look like this, I'm used to seeing myself look like this. Once I, came to terms, I wasn't in denial, I came to acceptance, and I looked in the mirror, something shifted. It probably took a couple months, and I said, this short hair is kind of cute. In a way that I wasn't thinking I looked cute, because I didn't think I looked cute. Right. I didn't feel cute. I was really ill, and I just didn't feel that way. But I was looking, and the longer I had this, I said, forcing my hair to get cut off was one of the best things that's ever happened to me. Why? Why, Athena? Why would I say that? Well, for one, I let go of this identity, this facade I was locked into. Like, this is me, but that's not me. I wear longer hair, but I don't, right?
Right.
There's that, and also it freed me up to see myself in another way, not just my physical self, but who I really was, how I was coping with this, who I strip all this away, and who are you?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And so I had things stripped away from me before that. I had certain physical changes. I had a lot of physical changes. And let me tell you, when you're on high dose of steroids, you're going through physical changes.
Oh, yes. I think you're skinny now.
Oh, yeah. But then I gained weight,
Oh, you blew up.
I blew up, too.
Yep.
And,
seen that, too.
Yeah, so there's, it was like a roller coaster. Once I'm real skinny, then I'm, heavier. Just my face, got the moon face, the buffalo hump.
Oh,
also, you know how it goes.
Oh, yeah.
So I've had all these physical I had a ton of physical changes. I'm known to all of my good friends to this day is the shapeshifter. If you see me on different videos, you might think one day I look like this. I'm called the shapeshifter every day of my life.
That's something.
Yeah, and so I got it, but I also say, you know what? That loss, which was a loss of sorts, freed me up to seeing things in a different way, in seeing possibilities for myself that I never saw before. And there was a gift in that.
Yep.
And there's a gift in anything that we see as a loss. What's behind this? How can we grow? What's the goodness? Not like, well, don't deal with the grief. It's important to deal with the grief. It's important to deal with the sadness. What you don't want to do is push it down and stuff it down and let it fester. Yeah, and let it fester in your body.
Oh, yeah.
Undealt with. It's the suppressing of our emotions, and not, we shouldn't be angry. We're supposed to be good. No, humans have anger, they have sadness, they have grief. These are all things that need to be expressed in balance. And by stuffing them and denying them gets you more imbalanced. and sick.
Oh, sure. You know, the reason we're doing this, we want to turn it more into a spiritual video because there's so many people suffering, but realize that you brought yourselves here at this point to then find your freedom. That's it.
That's
and
a powerful statement.
It is, and you're working through all your, your journey. This is your journey, and it's a culmination of it, however that is. Because when you eat a certain way, we're taught this way, but it is a state of consciousness. And so everything is already set up for you. That, believe it or not, you're just entering into this. You've just accepted these states that you're playing with. They already exist, and we can all enter in any of these states. I can enter your state, anyone's state. These are all just states of consciousness that we all experience. That's why we can, I've been there, I know that one. Yeah, I've been there. Oh yeah, I experienced that one too. But in the final analysis, what are you going to do with this suffering and this, because many of them are near death. We get so many near death people here. What are you going to do if you know or you think you're going to translate? And that's the point. That's when you want to let it all go. Things don't matter anymore, and you want to pull back to the self because you now have information not to translate. Before you have to realize that this information hasn't been out there much. So the people on this planet hasn't had the ability to find truth, to find the remedy. You didn't know there was something else because you would have ran to it. But you weren't aware of something else. You've tried some things, but still, that's the point here.
But I was locked into that.
You were locked in.
I was locked in.
If we can unlock these poor souls and get them to open up and find that there is a remedy, and it is simple as unwinding how you created this. Even though we create unconsciously. I'm trying to get you unconsciously.
So, not to sit there and blame yourself like, I didn't mean to hurt myself. I didn't.
Right.
We know that. None of us did, really. It was an unconscious.
It is all unconscious. So what we're trying to do is get you conscious.
And know that, oh my God, what has healed me can heal you.
Oh, yeah.
What I've been through, I'm not going to say I've been through anything worse than what you're going through. But what I can speak of is that I've been through hell for a long time. And I really mean this. If I can do it, anyone can. And I want to say this. If not you, who?
Exactly.
If not now, when?
Exactly. I love those kind of questions.
I mean, ask yourself that. If not me, who? If not now, when? I mean, and I mean this. When I ask you this, I ask me this. These are the questions I ask myself. What are you waiting for? What is it going to take to you to really want to put down that pizza and that cookie and that beer and everything else and say, you know what? Enough is enough. You know what? I really, if I'm going to be on this planet, which most of us decide that we are going to do it. For a short period. And we're all here for a short period. It doesn't matter if we're 30 or whatever it is.
Or 80.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's still a blip on the radar in the grand scheme. It is.
Even if it's that.
Even if
you think about that, the eternity and stuff, it's like not even a blink.
Not even a blink.
NASA works in fractional seconds, and I'm thinking, this is probably not even a fractional second.
It's not, but
in any level.
But to us, here's the thing. I know I had to answer this for myself. I've spent a lot more than anyone could comprehend at time alone. Now, I created that. It wasn't like nobody loves me, no one wants to spend time with me. I'm not, playing the violin and feeling. I'm saying, I'm being honest with you. I created that. I said no. I said leave. I said this because I had to. Yep. I had to protect myself and put a barrier around myself and go within and get. That's the way I had.
Strong.
I knew
that's how
I
you
had
got
to
your
do
strength,
it.
though.
That's
how
how
you
I
got your
did
strength.
it.
Yep.
And I said no. I lost friends. I lost opportunities. But I knew that the only way I could get to that next level was to apparently sacrifice that now.
Well,
right?
you had to let go of a beautiful mate that you had because of that. Mm-hmm. You had this beautiful man that was spiritual and everything, and you guys had a beautiful bond, and then you were so much in suffering, and the body was going, and you had to set him free. So that was a big spiritual move when you have to set someone free that you love so much, but you know that at least you think in the moment that your situation is going to be so bad that you have to let him go. These are the sort of things that I would like to see change here, where we can get people to there's a remedy. If you don't want to take it, I don't even care.
Yeah.
But if you're suffering and you want the remedy, I'm so happy to help you with it.
And I'm so happy to be here to tell you that it works, and that's why I'm here. I made this video with Dr. Morse a couple days ago. We made it.
Yeah.
We'll post it. I was a little bit concerned because I said to Dr. Morse, it seemed like I was so urgent and, like trying to get it all out. And you know why? Because I feel right now, I've been getting messages.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I feel it is urgent. I feel like, if not now, when? If not you, who? Because, my God, I don't want anyone to have to live another day of suffering when it's so available and so easy. It's going to save you money. It's going to save you all sorts of problems from toxins. And, we've been through this already, but what I want is what I want for myself, which is why I'm here, and what I want for you. I want you to do what you want to do, to go where you want to go, to love who you want to love, to be all that you dream, desire, fantasize, know deep down you could be if you could just be released from the imprisonment that is now your body. You feel like you're in prison, you're a prisoner of your body because you're limited. But you can become fully regenerated, fully revitalized, and limitless and pain-free again. And I'm here to tell you that. And if I sound a little urgent, only take that as I'm passionate and want to convey, because I want to help you and show you that, yes, it's actual. It's here. Yes, you're going to have to work for it, but like anything, you would have to, okay? You have the power. Go ahead. Reclaim your power. Say, body, what do you know that I don't know? And get the answers. And take the program and give yourself this challenge and say, I'll do it, I'll commit to, don't overwhelm yourself, commit to whatever. If it's a day, then tomorrow wake up again and say, okay, that was good. I'll commit to today. If that's all you can do, if you can do an hour, if you can do a year, but start.
Turn it into a fun thing. Absolutely. Turn it into a fun thing. I keep telling people, you've got to turn it into a fun thing. Be excited about feeling better.
And see, some people are like, that's work, but you know what? When you start getting that healing feeling, the feeling in your body where you're healing, right, where you're feeling the changes and the shifts, and you're noticing, and you're seeing your eyes light up with a little more life where they were lifeless before. You see just a little here and there, and that healing feeling. Oh boy, it gets easier and easier to stay on because you're getting rewarded. The tougher part, I think, is when you're on it, you're like, I'm not getting any relief, which goes back to the question of why some people seem to, quote unquote, heal faster than others. Yep. It's more complicated than just eating. There's the emotions. There is.
People don't realize how that is, but seeing so many people through the years, you see that every day. Those that will get better no matter what, they get better no matter what. Those that are going, well, I'll try, that's what you get.
Thank you. Can I talk about that word?
Yeah, please.
See that word, try? I took that word. If you ever hear me on a video, follow me at my channel. We'll link that up. If you ever hear me use the word try, call me on it. Write me a note. Say, Athena, I thought you said not to use that word. I kicked that word out of my head because trying, hey, Dr. Morse, I'm going to try and do the program. Okay, I'm going to try. Try means implied failure.
I have to admit it does. It sure
it's
does.
Right.
It does.
You're either going to do it or you're not. Exactly. It's either going to rain or it's not. It's not going to try to rain. So, and I say that, I did this, I say anything to you, I say to myself. And I had to work through, what are my limitations at every level? My verbiage, my karma, my emotions, my physical limit, I looked at all of these things because I had blocks. I had blocks on every level. And, when you make a breakthrough, hey, sometimes in this life, a lot of times, you have to have a complete breakdown to have a breakthrough. You really do. And it's not until you have that breakdown that you're going to have that breakthrough of awareness.
And that's right on, is sometimes you have a breakdown and take advantage of that.
Take advantage of it.
And remember, keep separating yourself from your mind and your emotions and your physical body. You're not these vehicles. You're this beautiful being that is not involved in thought or in emotions or that, and yet you're totally experienced through your attention. So accept your divinity and learn about the bigger part of who you are, and get back from that mind and those emotions for a while, and set yourself free on a journey of awakening, because it's not a journey of learning. It's all there.
Right,
it's already there. All it is a journey of reawakening.
Reawakening and remembering. Remembering who you are. And the way I found that I remembered is by sitting, when I say sitting, maybe laying in bed. But I mean, being with myself, not having stimuli on me, not distracting myself from myself by all these apps and social media. That's okay in balance, But I'm talking when you really want to know, you got to be undistracted, uninterrupted. No to this, no to that. I'm sorry I can't join you. I'm sorry I don't want to participate. I'm sorry I'm not available for that. And it may seem like no, but every time you say, every time I'm here, I'm not there. Every time I say yes to something, I'm saying no to something else. Every time you're saying no to someone, you're saying yes to yourself. And saying yes to yourself is very healing. That yes, I'm important enough to say I'm not available for that nonsense. I can't be disturbed with that drama right now. I really don't want to do it, so I'm really not going to do it. But I'm going to do this for myself.
The thing that comes in on that is also mates. You can have a significant other, wife, husband, mother, brother, whatever, friend, whatever, and let them drag you down. And you can't do that. You have to always keep yourself where you want to be.
Watch your energy.
Right. Because,
protect your energy.
I've seen mates pull other mates into chemotherapy, into hell that they didn't want to go, and of course they're dead now. And I've seen this over and over and over again. I gave them an example of a beautiful woman that came in, probably in her 40s, gorgeous blonde, East Coast, 7, 9, 8, 9, 10 millimeter tumor.
So small.
Not even a tumor. I mean, that's a pea.
Yeah.
I told her, I said, that's easy to pop out. I can pop that out with Black Salve, or that's easy for you to get out. My husband wants me to do chemo and all that. I said, what? It's a pea. I didn't see her for about 4 months, and I'm friends with some Hippocrates counselors, and they said she didn't make it. I said, she didn't make what? Her husband was so scared, or wanted her dead, one of the two, that he forced her into the chemo, or and this is the P. When you ladies or anybody out there finds a hump or a lump, it's easy to go right now into a 100% raw food diet, particularly fruits, berries, and melons, get on a few herbs, open the kidneys, get the lymph moving, and get that out. You're done. Or, like we show this little picture all the time, or wait and let it get that way.
No one wants that.
No one wants that.
No one wants that.
And that's the problem. This poor thing listened to the medical community and waited, and look what she had to deal with. This is the sort of thing is, you have to take full bore responsibility for your beingness. No matter what. No, you came here as a lone individual from the house of God, so to speak. So take that on yourself. You didn't come here to let somebody else tell you what to do. You came here to ride your own horse and to ride your own journey. Ride it.
Right. Let me tell you something about that. I was in a similar situation. This one time when I was in the hospital for about a month and a half, it was bad. I had the feeding line. I hadn't eaten in, I don't know, a couple months. Well, anyway, I was that's when they're like, that was another time. It's like, well, everything that could go wrong was going from bad to worse, bad to worse. Well, I did have a little bit of family and some friends, and so everyone, of course, was terrified the way I looked. I'm in the hospital for a long time. I'm hanging on by a thread, and that's probably strong too. And I was so weak, I wasn't. I was just getting through more or less. But of course, what everyone was pushing for was removal of my colon, a total colectomy. Well, my I was fully ulcerated, pancolitis. Blood. I was bleeding out again. At everything that was going wrong, I was in a very depleted state, and many things were going wrong. And it was obvious, probably very soon I was going to be gone, but I was okay with it at the time. It's not like I wanted it. I was trying to make it happen, but I was accepting this thing that was happening. Well, everyone around me were so terrified, rightly so, witnessing this. And they're like, Athena, get the surgery. You're not going to make it. Everyone's saying you're not going to make it. Please, please, please. I can't really tell you how I heard this day and night. And what was hard was I wasn't going to get the surgery. And I said, and my one friend grabbed me and she said, please, I'm begging you. And I said, look, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to sit in prayer and meditation for hours. I called in the nurses and I said, I can't get any rest. You people are interrupting me every 10 minutes. I need to put a sign on my door. I don't want you knocking. I don't want anyone coming in. It's going to be do not disturb, nobody enter for 4 hours. Okay?
Wow.
And I did this.
Did
and
you?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
And well, you know me.
Yeah.
I'm a rule breaker, baby.
I know.
Even at that, low level of function.
That's pretty good, though. Truthfully, because they do.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you
I know,
can't get
totally.
any rest. You can't
In the
get
hospital,
anything.
a lot of years.
Every time you turn on, someone's poking you and pushing on you.
Oh, yeah.
And you're like, leave me the hell alone. Honestly, I need some peace here. But I knew I couldn't leave the hospital. I'm plugged up to that machine you got to push around and everything. So I told the nurses, and they're like, well, I don't know. And I said, no. I said, this is my room. I'm paying for this room. This is my life. This is what I need. I'm not asking you. I'm just that person, though, where I'm just
quirky.
Yeah, I'm quirky, and I'm direct.
But
I'm direct. I ask for what I want.
You dictated what you wanted.
I dictated what I want because
I'm
it's
proud of you
my
for that.
life. You know what? I'm the one that has to face the consequences. I'm the one that either lives or dies. They go on with their daily routine. I've got, I'm pressed against the wall here.
Yep.
It's a matter of survival for me. So if I don't fight for myself, who else is going to?
Exactly.
So I did, and I went into prayer and meditation, and I was like, well, I'm open to what's going to be suggested to me. And I got the message, and I saw that I wasn't even going to survive the surgery anyway.
Oh, wow.
That's what it was.
Wow.
I didn't want it, don't get me wrong, but I was like, okay, I told my friend I'm going to go do this. And it's like, you're not even going to make it. If you do make it through the surgery, you're not going to make it after.
Right.
Either way,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can't
It's
manage
possible,
it. Yeah, and I was so depleted. It was like, you're just not going to do it. You're going to use that as your exit door, your opportunity to go, right? And so I'm like, well, okay, so there's that. And then there's the steroids, which I had those options only at that time.
Right.
So I came back and I said, no, I'm not going to have this surgery. I'm going to go on the steroids. Now, let's get this straight. I didn't want to go on the steroids, but this was my option at the time. I will tell you, my people, my loved ones, family and friends, they walked away and they said, I can't support you. You don't want to get well.
Yeah.
Because they
That had to hurt.
they were so brainwashed and so convinced because the doctors kept telling her she's not going to make it. There's no way she's going to make it without surgery. She's not going to have a life. So they're like, you want to die. We can't support you if you want to kill yourself. And I'm like, hold up. No, see here. No. They were so convinced. So, sometimes the reason why I share this, I'm not trying to bring you down. This is real life. This is what maybe many of you are dealing with.
Yeah.
That you got to stand up for what you believe in. Even if you stand alone and you lose that spouse, your family members walk off, and your friends say, whoa, I can't emotionally deal with seeing you go down the tubes like this. I can't. I just can't watch it. It's like, okay, I'm sorry. Bye. But you stand in your truth, and your truth is, that's not for me. I'm sorry none of you can see that, and that's what you would do. That's not what I'm doing. This is my own journey. And that's how it is with the healing path. Don't think everyone's going to jump on board when they're seeing you eat raw fruit all day long and where you're going to get your protein, because I still get that all over the place. People aren't going to be, jumping for joy for you necessarily. You're going to get a lot of resistance. People might think you're crazy. People might say, gotta go. I can't hang with you anymore, And you can say, I'm sorry you feel that way. I'm still going because this is my truth.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I wanted to share that because that's what it comes down to.
And I think so. And I think you were worried about this video, but I think it's important that those out there that are in the high level of suffering, and how many people have Crohn's, ulcerative colitis, and then of course
bowel
the
cancer.
enteritis, the bowel cancers. Which used to be number one for generations. So
many of my relatives had it and died from it.
Look at that. So the important thing is the message that we have for you guys is that you can win the day.
You can.
You can win the day. She's a great example of someone who they wanted to remove the whole colon.
Numerous times. That was just one time I told you about.
Numerous times. And look, you saved yourself. You got rid of the arthritis. You rebuilt your colon. You're totally.
I'm like a different person in some ways. Really?
And what you've learned, and now you're here with your hand out helping others. And there couldn't be anything more beautiful and spiritual, honey.
Thank you. And I say,
I gotta give you a hug for that one.
I love you, and,
you too.
and they all love you. We all love
them
you,
too.
And I do love you. And I just want you to know this, from the bottom of my heart. I'll walk with you. I'm walking with you. Dr. Morse knows. I'm not tooting my horn. It's not about me. I'm the messenger. I'm the storyteller. I'm the one who's lived that I can share experiences. It's not like I'm great or I did anything better. I'm a regular person just like you behind that camera. And I swear, honestly, I wouldn't say this if I didn't mean it. If I can do it, you can do it. And there's no doubt about it. There is just no doubt.
Yeah, I had to drag her to do these videos, so because
I'm a private person.
I know.
Believe it or not,
are a private
I'm a very
person.
private person.
We don't even know her age yet, but you told me once. But this is the thing: is that there's so many people out there that are hurting. That when you, like you did, when you turn it around and you become conscious. And then you take care of your bodies, and the information comes to you, and you win the day.
That's it. That's it. The information comes
Exactly.
to you, and you either answer the call,
or
you ignore it. And let me tell you, ignoring is the blowback. Ignoring is the dragon's tail coming and smacking you in the face. Mm-hmm. And I've had to ignore it. Like he said, like Dr. Morse said, he kind of dragged me, and it went. Now, I want to help. It's not that. I want to say that
you're a private person.
I'm a private person also. I've lived, I used to be a different person before I got so ill. And what I mean by that is not as private, not as, I was more out. In living in illness and literally being not seen a lot, you acclimate. That becomes your norm, and you change according to that. And also, I've had work before where I was highly discriminated against, and because I spent so much time in the bathroom because of my bowel situation, or being sick and missing this. And a lot of people don't tolerate that, and they don't understand it. They're like, "Well, you look fine," It's like. Right, and it's like, well, it's not my face that's sick. Though eventually my face did look sick. There's a period it didn't, even though I was. And so I've had discrimination from work. I've had discrimination from other things and just not treated well because of it. And so making these videos for me, I would tell you, is a labor of love, because it's like kind of like I'm coming out of my shell. I'm coming out and being seen again, and feeling a little bit vulnerable, and sharing something that's so private and intimate, and nothing like I want to brag about, or a lot of us want to be known for something like really good, like like, hey, I accomplished this. Well, mine is a survival story. It's not that I'm not proud of myself. It's that it's not easy to share. It's not like, hey, I just won first place at the Olympics. I'm ready to share that with the world. This is something more delicate, sensitive, and especially because I'm sure, like many of you out there, have not been treated well as a result of missing, canceling out, missing this, people not understanding, or they leave your life because they don't support what you're doing. I mean, there's a lot of pain involved in that way too. Okay, so that's just real.
It is
and
real.
I say that, and it feels awkward to say it, but I say it because I know so many of you have to be experiencing something similar to that.
Well, I think there's a lot of people out there.
Condition.
Oh yeah, I read a request from someone that's a lymphoma, and she was just saying, I'm very alone. I'm only have myself. I'm totally alone. And so, you know what? We want people to know you're not alone.
You're not alone.
You're alone, yes. We're all alone, yes.
Right.
As God is alone,
right.
But yet we're all one. So we're all here to help, and that's the beauty of getting these people turned on to helping others.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I tell you, I know I'm a real and raw, kind of in your face. You get what you see what you get. That's me.
Yeah, but at least you know what you get.
At least you know what you get with me. And Dr.
important.
Morse knows that about me.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I came up with this recently because, some people... you don't know this, but I'm a petite person, right?
You are.
I'm a petite person, but I'm like a tiger, and people get shocked by that sometimes. And I say
you're a tiger in a good way.
I'm a tiger in a good way. I'm respectful.
You are a tiger in a good way. You are.
Yeah, I am. That's not to scare anyone, but I say I'm here to comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable.
Oh, you're bad.
I let you know, just a little bit. Well, I have a history of irking off a lot of medical doctors because I'm
your mom was one, right?
Yeah, my mom was one.
Your mom was a medical doctor.
But I lost her when
your
I was
whole
young.
family was medical doctors.
Well, not
all medical. Your brother's a chiropractor.
Yeah, but the thing is this. The only reason why I was so, probing, because I was frustrated that I wasn't getting the help and answers and questioning. I'm not that person to say, okay, whatever you say, I'll just go, crawl in my hole and die. It's like, well, no, I want... Right?
Well, that's why you're doing this. I think we have to breed people to come out of their shell and claim their, just like you said, take ownership of yourself.
Yeah, take ownership
and say,
of
you know
yourself.
what, there's got to be another way. Because when you're in a modality and then the only one way is death and there's nothing else, look somewhere else. Because people just don't look anywhere else. They're like, accept it. It's like you accept it from a modality that doesn't even know what causes their made-up diseases, and then they use toxic pharmaceuticals to treat it, and you don't get what, people have to get with that.
I couldn't say that better, because if you're like, that's my answer. See, I don't take no. I mean, I don't take like, sorry, we can't help you. It's like, okay, next. Where else? That's my personality.
Exactly.
That's what I want everyone to wake up to, that no one's gonna save you. No one's gonna do it for you. I mean, it really, someone, we can hold your hand and walk through with you, but we can't push you through. You gotta say, yes, okay, I'm ready. Yes, okay, no, I don't want the... you gotta if you don't take ownership of your body and yourself, something else can, and something else will.
Yep, for you spiritual people, that's how you get walk-ins and all kinds of things. You're not home. Your mind, you're chasing your thoughts, and consciousness is right there to dealt with. So being conscious is the best protection you have against entities and other beings, and that includes same humans. Other beings, just because something's in another body, everything's in other bodies. Humans are not all over the galaxies. There's other species all over there. You'll run into species you've never seen before, all kinds. So this is the worlds of God, untold species and looks and awarenesses, and everything's out there. So you just have to be strong and complete and whole within yourself and understand that consciousness and unembodied awareness is who you really are. Your bodies are just how you play.
Yeah, it's how you can navigate and move through
Creation.
This three-dimensional world.
Exactly.
This is it. We're in this to navigate, to experience, to touch, to see through the eyes, to feel, to smell. This is our sensory machine through which we experience this reality. Right?
Right, totally.
And I'll tell you what.
And that's all it is. You're just, it's interesting. The senses keeps us so locked into the body, we think this is real. But once you start losing your senses, you start drawing back. Like you were in so much pain that you drew back from the body.
Right, I did.
And had out-of-body experiences. Right. And that's why it can take you to that point to shake you loose. I'm not my body. Look, I'm this beautiful being. Look at all these experiences. Sometimes it takes that.
Sometimes it takes that. And it's not that I wasn't any other type of person, but there's some people who are really like mind people, some people who are really emotional, people. I was all those things, but I was very much a body person. Yeah. Like that was very dominant in my life.
You were a dancer and all
right,
that.
All that. Right. Yeah. And so it was almost, I had to be pushed that far to be like, I'm not,
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like a dance. I was dense. It had to keep going and going and going. It's like, when am I going to get it? Well, I had to keep going further and further to the depths of, they say rock bottom. Once you hit rock bottom, there's only place.
That's what they say.
And sometimes that's what it takes. And there's nothing wrong. There's nothing good or bad about it. It just is. That's your journey. That's your awakening process. We all awaken at different points. And wherever we are right now is our starting place. Wherever you are,
yep.
That's your starting point.
Start
it doesn't
right now,
matter.
Right
here. Start right now, right here. It doesn't matter where you were, because, like I said in the other day, what has been in your life is not necessarily what can be. So, in other words, don't believe your reality. What do I mean by that? If your reality right now is you're very sick and you feel trapped and you can't get out of this, locked kind of misery and hell. Mm-hmm. Let's just say Hellville. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's this moment. Don't believe that's your destiny. Something that was real helpful to me? Every day I envision myself, even sometimes it was hard, but like, let's say 20 minutes a day, I envision myself as a well person. For me, that looked like just doing the things I do, run around, hiking, dancing, whatever. And I'd lay there and I'd envision it. And then eventually those 20 minutes turn longer. And once you start, what my father used to tell me, what you can conceive, what you can imagine, and what you can believe. You believe that imagining is possible, you can achieve. He used to teach me this in relation to my sport, and competing.
Absolutely.
And he'd tell me to work on my body at night and how I wanted it to develop, and work on my routines. Because he said there's no difference really between seeing and feeling and experiencing it here, but really experiencing it, than doing it. It's like another version of reality, and if you can do it here and really experience it, you've got it.
And you did something else too, is you kicked back, you let go, and you asked the universe.
I did.
You kicked back, you
opened
ask yourself up, and you asked the universe. Well, that's where we all are. So you were heard, and that's the thing.
Well, I asked for help. I asked for guidance. I asked for answers.
And you got it.
Yeah.
And that's
but
what
you got to ask.
But you have to ask, and you have to be ready to receive. There's the other side of that.
And not be attached to the answer.
Exactly. And don't be attached to what you get, because you have to go with that.
You have to go with it. Like if you get, if you get an answer that you don't like, well, sorry. You're not going to like everything.
Yeah.
You know, and that the other part of that is that your reaction might be you don't like it, but you can't see past that answer. You don't know why you're getting that answer. It could be opening up the greatest worlds, but at first you're resistant because that's not what you wanted. So you have to let go of your desires, expectations, and attachments and say, okay, I trust, and it's because of that trust, no matter what that answer, I'm going in that direction.
Well, you know what's funny is people will walk down this road, and let's say the medical road, for an example, and even though nothing's working, and what you're being told has very limited scope to it, like in your case, you either have it removed or you're dead. It's a pretty limited scope.
It's pretty, where you're backed in a car. Exactly. I don't like either option. I don't want either option.
Yeah. So, I forget where I was going.
Sure,
No, that's all right. No, that's okay. But that's the sort of thing.
You said like the medical world. You're going down.
Yeah, so when you're going down a road, know that you can always change your path. You can always get off that road. There's always something higher and different out there for you. Don't think you're just locked in one road that you're walking down, because you're not.
You never are.
You never are. And if you keep yourself awake, God always has spiritual beings with their hand out to help you or to give you that little nudge. And you never know who they are. It could be someone in a grocery store that said something to you while you were checking out, or could be anything. These spiritual beings work funny, and it just clicks you, just opens you. Be open to stuff like that, because you see this world is going down real fast. Notice every day there's bombings now and killings. It's escalating. We need to escalate our side of this. We need to escalate the love and the giving and the healing, because we have to counterpunch the negative forces, because we're going to win this. And so all your help and love. So wrapping with Athena and Dr. Morse, we love you guys. Thank you for tuning in. We love you.
We really love you, and I believe in you.
And we only want the best for you. So let go. Let go of the mind. Learn how to stop thinking. Stop desiring. Spend a week. Just don't want anything. Just don't care. Just be. Just hang out and enjoy what you already have created for yourselves. And enjoy yourself in that week, and just watch things. Don't think. If a thought comes, just set it to the side and just watch. Spend a week of just watching and looking around.
Yeah, vacation from your thoughts.
Vacation from your thoughts. Vacation from your emotions. Just take a day. Just, you know what? I'm just going to hang for a week.
And eat fruit while you're hanging.
And eat fruit, berries, and melons while you're hanging.
Yeah, right now, I just need a plug. I need to put a plug in for that, because it's summer. We got melons, we got berries, we got all the fruits. And it's abundant now. It's fresh now. No matter where you are, it's more available now, at least in the northern hemisphere,
Yep.
And if there's a good time, it's going to help clear. It's going to help you see things in a different way. The more you clear out, the more you eliminate that gunk and detox, the more you can elevate and feel better, and your body will follow that too. But not only that, you're hydrating, you're nourishing, you're giving your digestion a much easier break. There's so many, start now. Just today, start now. If it's one meal, then start with that one meal, and then add on. Okay? But is there a reason? Why not now?
Yeah. Is there?
Why not now?
Yeah. Just like you said, you can start slow if you're not hurting too bad. If you're in serious trouble,
I would.
You want to jump in there.
I would jump it up. I'd go from 0 to 5th gear,
exactly.
right now.
Exactly. But if you're not, and you can work it, then spend some time working it a little bit with the green drinks or something, But
I want to say this too. This kind of sounds funny, but when you're hurting, it's easier than when you're not, and I'll tell you why. At least for me, okay, I can only speak for myself. When you have nausea and you don't have a huge hunger, it's easier to control your craving. It's easier.
It is easier.
So now would be the time when you're suffering, when you're like, I don't have much of an appetite, or I'm kind of nauseous. Well, then just make a fruit smoothie and sip on it all day long. You don't have to eat a lot, but when you do, make sure it's the most highest food, the fruits. I love the fruit smoothie. I told you, because you don't have to worry about chewing and digesting. It's pre-digested when it's blended.
Cools things
it's
down.
broken down. It
It's
cools
just
things
beautiful
down.
stuff.
And it tastes like nectar of the goddesses. Really.
The goddesses. We love
right.
you guys,
Love
and we appreciate you listening to these videos.
Thank you
know.
for watching in your time.
Oh,
in
listen, your story
time.
is amazing. A lot of your stories are amazing out there.
There are a lot
and
of
we want to share with the world people that get near death and they pull themselves out of it, because we want to show the spiritual side of this as well, because this isn't a spiritual awakening. This is what's going on here. It's, we tend to put things too physical sometimes, but you got to accept your divinity.
Right. Well, I mean, what's animating our physical body? What's making this thing operate? It's our spirit. And that's what's giving this body life. When the body shuts down, people call the spirit, that's us. That's who we truly are. Vacates the premises and goes on to another dimension. But this is you. So we have to address the spiritual aspect, because that's who we are, inhabiting this physical body.
Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. And once you have an out-of-body experience, no matter how bad you had to have it, you really see that. Because the first time you're away from your physical body and you're looking back at it, that then gives you the full understanding that I'm just using that thing. And now you know that there's that bigger part of you. And it just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
It does. It's infinite. And also, if you can get a crystal, I mean, shoot, we all want a crystal like this, don't we?
It's beautiful. I love that green crystal.
It is, well, you know the name.
I got it from Micah, and he got it from John of God, and it was just, it's just beautiful crystal.
And the energy coming off. Well, for me, I was thinking, the name of my channel, currently, I might change it, is Emerald Cafe. And it's like, this would be good at home.
Athena the crystal.
Emerald Cafe. No, but, I love crystals. And if you can get... I just want to say, I know we're trying to wrap it up, and we will. We always have a million things to talk about, but I'll be back and make some more videos. That's our deal. If you can get even a little crystal to hold in your hand, okay? It's a living, powerful, healing being. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, my God.
If you just lay in bed or sit in a chair or... put it in your pocket and take out at your desk.
Sit it right over your solar plexus, right here.
Yeah, put it over your solar plexus.
Oh my God.
And you can put your hands over it like that. That's what I do too. And lay there while you're making your intentions, while you're going within, getting in touch with your intuition.
Yeah, expand yourself. Allow yourself to just expand and unlimited. You already are, so all you have to do, the secret, is relax. The secret to out-of-body travel is relaxation. Believe it or not. The secret to happiness is relaxation. The activity, the action, all that's creation. Remember, in consciousness, there is no form. There is no distance between things. That's creation. Consciousness just is. There is no form. There is no movement.
And how do you relax? Well, Dr. Morse is can do this because he has a beautiful voice. I don't. Otherwise, I would do the hue.
No.
Can you
you can do a hue.
Can you give the hue? Because if a person can't tone down their mind while they're laying there with the crystal, keep repeating the hue.
You can do the om.
The om, but I like the hue too, because most people know the om.
Like that. And you can just lay there and hue till you have an out-of-body experience.
That's it. That'll take you. If you can't relax on your own.
The word hue comes out of the old Sanskrit writings, and it's a different vibration than the om. But there's different levels to God. And that's the fun thing. This journey is fun, and this world is so claustrophobic that once you let go of this and the thoughts, your ability, the whole idea is to be conscious traveler. Be free and travel and enjoy yourselves. Your experience will be grandiose, so by far. Well, we love them, right?
Yes.
So you all get yourselves well. And we thank you for spending your precious time listening to us rattle on.
Really, we have been, but thank you.
The message is strong here, powerful here. Don't let yourself go to the point where all you have is the removal of your body parts or death. And
Yeah, your body parts are there for a reason.
They are. And know that there's regeneration.
Absolutely.
And participate in that. And free yourselves from the earthly chains of thought and desire. And have some fun in life.
And Wellville is a much happier place to live than Hellville.
From that, we love you all.
Love
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you.